this place. This has to be it. I knew she was deep into necromancy. I mean, she taught me everything I know. But I had no idea she had a setup like this. Look at all this. She must have spent years collecting these components. And what's this thing? I'm not sure about this circle, but it's obviously something. Let's take a look around. There has to be something here that tells us where she's gone. My mother was meticulous about her research. If we can find her notes, there might be some hints in there. I had no idea her laboratory even... She had an alchemy set up in her drawing room, but nothing that even comes close. Looking at the equipment and materials, it looks like she was trying to... I don't know. Certainly not longevity. Kind of a waste of time for a vampire. Not that I... My mother had a bit of a thing for magical constructs. Not what you're thinking. She just found them fascinating. Keep searching for her notes. She probably had a journal or something. I remember she used to keep a small journal. See if you can dig it up. Luck yet? You did? Let me see them. I only know what she told me. She had a theory about soul gems, that the souls inside of them don't just vanish when they're used. They end up in the soul cairn. The soul cairn is home to very powerful beings. Necromancers send them souls and receive power. My mother spent a lot of time trying to contact them directly, to travel to the soul cairn. That circle in the center of the room is definite. If I'm reading this right, there's a formula here that should give us safe passage into the soul. A handful of soul gem shards, some finely ground bone meal, a good bit of purified void salts. Oh, damn it. We're also going to need a sample of her blood, which, if we could get that, we wouldn't even be trying to do this in the first place. Not bad. We'd better hope that's good enough. Mistakes with these kind of portals can be gruesome. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get started. Oh, definitely. Mother would have plenty of those materials in her laboratory. You just need to find them. Then the rest is up to me. Are you ready to go? I'm not entirely sure what this thing is going to do when I add my blood. Of course. What is it? I've been asking myself the same thing since we came back to the castle. She was so sure of what we did to my father. I couldn't help but go along with her. I never thought of the cost. Possibly. I guess she worried about me. About all of us. But she wanted to get me as far away from my father as possible before he really went over the edge. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I just didn't expect anyone to care. Are we ready then? All right, here goes. Ancestors. She actually created a portal in the soul. Incredible. Are you alright? That looked painful. Now that I think about it, I should have expected that. Sorry. It's hard to describe. The soul cairn is... well, hungry, for lack of a better word. It's trying to take your life essence as payment. There might be, but I don't think you're going to like it. Vampires aren't counted among the living. I could probably go through there without a problem. Not your first choice, I'd guess? Maybe. We could just pay the toll another way. It wants a soul, so we give it a soul. Yours. My mother taught me a trick or two. I could partially soul trap you and offer that gem to the Ideal Masters. It might be enough to satisfy them. It would make you a bit weaker when we travel through the soul cairn, but we might be able to fix that once we're inside. Maybe. I'm sorry. I wish I knew a better way, something that would be easier for you. Just know that whatever path you choose, I won't think any less of you. Sometimes things just have to be done. I know that better than anybody. Have you made up your mind? Are you sure? I'm willing to do it, but you need to think it through. You'll remain mortal, but you'll find yourself weakened within the soul cairn. I know this is difficult for you. I hope you trust me. I'd never do anything that could hurt you. Thank you. Let's not waste any more time then. I promise to make this as painless as possible. Hold still. Let's go. My mother must be waiting on the other side of that thing. Would be right at home in this place. You'd be wrong. Let's just find my mother and get out of here, quickly.
Beware the dragon Dunavir, destroyer of souls and harbinger of the fallen. Is there no end to this nightmare?
I'd heard stories about the soul cairn, but never thought I'd see it myself.
This misery.
So far, it's about what I imagined.
What am I doing here? I don't belong in a place like this. There's no escape.
You'd think a vampire would be right at home in this place. You'd be wrong. Let's just find my mother and get out of here.
There's no escape.
Who's there? That'll teach you. Where'd you come from? Look at the sky. What kind of place? Anything good?
My family misses me. I wonder if they're still alive. How much time has passed? Want my advice? Never welch on a bargain with the ideal masters. They don't take it very well. Is there no end to this nightmare? You must help me find my Arvak. He doesn't deserve to be in a place like this. Arvak, my horse. We came to this horrible place together. We were attacked by monsters, so I told him to run. Please, he's such a loyal creature, and he's been running for so long. You have to save him. A place like this will change you. Arvak! Arvak! Where are you? Arvak, please come back! Come back!
This is all wrong.
here? Someone with flesh on their bones. Let's just say I sold something to a guy who turned... How in the name of Zenithar was I to know the ingredients were phony? Do I look like someone that would... You got it. Horse, wagon... I used to be one of the best traders in High Rock, you know. People would... And what exactly are you going to pay me with? Take a look around. I'll tell you what. The only thing I see around here in abundance are soul husks. Bring me, say, 25 of them, and you can rummage through what was left on my cart. Odds and ends I've gathered over the years. Tell me what you're looking for, and maybe we can make a deal. Here. No husks, no sale. Guess you have some scavenging to do.
What place is this? Where'd you come from? Who's there? I knew I heard something. Where'd you come from? Done and done. there.
Step into the painting, he said. Yeah, sure. Like it's that simple.
Done and done.
Saved him! His soul is free, I can feel it! He's such a little beast. Here, I'll teach you how to call him to you. He'll help you get around this wretched place. But I'm sure he'd be much happier someplace sunnier. Goodbye, hero. Take good care of Arvac for me. Such a good horse.
Who's there?
this place tears at me as though I'm still alive and being drawn and
Mother? Mother!
Can't be. Serana?
Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We have to talk.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to stop him. To make everything right.
Wait a moment. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter? It pains me to think you'd travel with Serana under the guise of her protector in an effort to hunt me down. Coming from one who murders vampires as a trade, Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you. You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny. When I fled Castle Volkihar, I fled. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon. Like myself, Serana was a human once. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Though we call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor. Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other... If Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires. And how exactly do you plan on stopping him? Have you been listening to me? Like Serana, I'm a pure-blooded vampire. You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. Whether or not you've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn, you're here because we're abominations in your mind. Evil creatures that need to be destroyed. Serana, this stranger aligns himself with those that would hunt you down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to him.
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known him than you've done in centuries.
How dare you? I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father.
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
If you'd only open your eyes. The moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you two. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that. Maybe we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him, before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me. But for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can. Yes, I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins. You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled here. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnevere roaming the cairn. Be wary of him. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat. As you've been traveling in the Soul Cairn, let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it, and in its place, a bit of the Soul Cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer. When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters. I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Master if I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul. The Ideal Masters unleashed their keeper. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay, and unfortunately, since the keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to break. Time has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game. Each watching the other to see which will give in. Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where the vampire can flourish. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called if eternal night fell. There are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would... The order of the day would be our destruction, until every last vampire was... I do. It's how the vampire has survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future. Be careful, and keep my daughter safe.
Let's kill those keeper things and get back to the prison. there.
You managed to destroy all 3 keepers? Yes. Keep watch for Durnevere. With the prison's barrier down, he's almost certain to investigate.
She's leading us to the scroll.
Forgive my astonishment, but I never thought I'd witness the death of that dragon.
Come on, she's leading us to the scroll. This better not be all the things you just can't be bothered with. Come on, she's leading us to the scroll. Come on, she's leading us to the scroll. Come on, she's leading. Scroll.
Forgive my astonishment, but I never thought I'd witness. The death of that dragon. Volumes written on Durnevere allege that he can't be slain unless the soul of a dragon is as resilient as its own. It's possible that your killing blow has merely displaced Durnevere's physical form. Minutes, hours, years. Now, let's get you the Elder Scroll and you can use it.
She's leading us to the scroll.
What did you want?
That's it. That's the last scroll. Come on, let's take it to Dexy.
Now that you've retrieved the Elder Scroll, you should be on it. So my daughter applied some of the lessons I taught her about necromancy, did she? Don't worry. I think I can help you. Your soul essence was trapped inside a gem. When you and Serana entered the Soul Camp, it was given to the Ideal Masters as payment. You simply need to retrieve the gem. The moment you touch it, your soul essence will be restored. There's an offering altar not terribly far from here. I'm willing to bet that the gem you're looking for is there. Is there anything else? Could be your last chance. I have no choice. If I return to Tamriel, that increases Harkon's likelihood. I appreciate your concern for me. Remember that Harkon is not to be trusted, and promise me you'll keep my daughter safe. She's the only thing of value I have left. Did you have anything to ask before you depart? Farewell. Remember that Harkon's knowledge.
Stay your weapons. I would speak with you, Quinarin. Cursed, not dead. Doomed to exist in this form for eternity. Trapped between Laas and Enoch. Between life and death. The hostility was necessary. I believe in civility among seasons. My claws have rended the flesh of innumerable foes, but I therefore name you Quinarin. Your words do me great honor. My desire to speak with I merely wish to respect. For countless years I've roamed. Before this, I roamed the skies. I fear that my time here has taken its toll. If I ventured far from the Soul Cairn, my strength, I will place my name with you, and do me this simple honor, and I will fight at your side as your Graze Mazen. You're trivial in your mind, perhaps. For me, I don't require an answer, Quinarin. Simply speak my name to the heavens when you feel the time is right. In my language, the Quinarin is the vanquisher. The one, even in the Soul Cairn. The defeat of the World Eater has reached my ears, Dovahkiin. You may not be Dova, but the defeat of Alduin earns you the right of title. There was a time when I called The Dova roamed the skies, vying for their small I was. But unlike some, I began to explore what the Dova call Elok. The Ideal Masters assured me that in return, I was to serve them as a keeper. I discovered too late that the Ideal Masters favored they had control of my mind. But free? No. The Soul Cairn has become a part of what I am. I only hope that you will allow me the precious moments of time there through your call.
Where'd you come from? there. I knew I heard something.
All I said to Patema was I thought you looked a little portly in that gown. How was I supposed to know?
Brought some soul husks? Or are you wasting my time? Well, I've been so busy, I don't know. What, are you kidding me? Sure, here you go. Can't understand a word of it. Maybe it will do you some good.
Come on, let's go home.
I might just be a soul now, but I'm still not going to give my stuff away.
I'm glad we found
Bring
this
me at
scroll.
least 25 husks, and
I
then we'll
wish you could
talk.
come with us. The sooner we get the scroll home, the sooner we deal with my father.
Madness. It was madness to attack that coven of witches. Why didn't they listen to me?
Do you need something? I can't say it surprises me. I just didn't know when. If. I've been assuming. I've been trying to make... Come on. We can talk about this another time. This must be that beautiful Skyrim weather I've always heard about.
Yes, I haven't got all day. I hear you're doing a lot of the work in tracking down these vampires. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I trust your journey was successful. I'm sorry, my friend. I can no longer be of use in this matter. It's my fault. In my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the careful preparation required. I thought I'd be able to allay the after effects, but I was wrong. Now I am paying for it. Blind? Yes, I'm afraid so. No, it will have to run its course, and there's always the chance I may never recover. No, there is another way. The question is, how much are you willing to risk to find Oriel's bow? I can't guarantee you'd be free from harm. Becoming blind could be the least of your worries. Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as Ancestor Glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the Ancestor Moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek. It involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract Ancestor Moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls. In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the Ancestor Glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every moth priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you. From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy. Deciphering one of the Elder Scrolls is nothing like reading a simple book. It can take months or even years to complete a single scroll, and even then. Sadly, yes. It is the inevitable. It generally does not occur until a moth priest is in his latter years. But in my case, deciphering one, it can take months or even years to complete a single scroll. I've helped you all that I can. The rest is... Well, as I'm sure you figured out by now, the voice of the Ancestor Moth has always been an integral part of reading the Elder Scrolls. Oh, the moths don't literally read the scrolls, but they maintain a If you listen closely when you find the glade, you should be... It's through this ancestral chorus that the moths tap into a form of primal augur and become a conduit for deciphering the scroll. By having the Ancestor Moths close to the moth, only the most resilient of priests can do it this way. It takes years of practice to You've come this far, and whether you believe it or not, the scrolls have a mind of their own. If they did not want you to... Because of this, I strongly believe you were meant to hear the ancestral chorus. Only one way to find out.
I hope we reach Ancestor Glades
I hope
soon.
you find the answers you seek.
Oh, what is it?
getting right into my
I'm okay with the dark, but I've spent more than my share of time in caves already.